Batman and Kylie Cosmetics collab. I couldn't care less about these types of collabs.
What's up? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna give you my hot takes on what's new in the makeup community, new launches. We're gonna be hopping on Trendmood, talking a little bit about sales, holiday sales, believe it or not. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. So first off, Weis is having a 25% off friends and family sale right now, which I'm really excited about. That is a pretty good percentage off for Weis, especially since they are very pricey. So if you're interested in anything from Weis, I think now is the perfect time to check them out. A couple of things that I'm interested in getting. The first thing that came to mind is their foundation. I love their foundation. It is one of the only light coverage foundations I feel like just is so good on the skin. It looks so natural and like juicy and dewy, but it actually wears well. I have one currently, but it's not my shade. It's like my self-tan shade, but I don't really self-tan anymore. So I might be picking this one up in a lighter shade. Let me see what shade I would be. I'd probably get F112, which is the second lightest shade. The lightest one seems very pink, and then that one seems to have a nice yellow base to it. Also been interested in their Tinted Moisturizer, but I think I would probably prefer just a little bit more coverage in the foundation, although this also claims to be a light medium coverage. I don't know, I'm so curious because I really do enjoy that foundation. And then I also had my eye on their lipstick, which I've never tried. I have their lip glosses, which I love, and the lip liners. They're very creamy and just luxurious feeling, and this just looks again also very luxurious. And looking at the shades, there's two that look very pretty. So it looks like they have a nude collection, and they also have their original one. From just the original listing, I saw two that really caught my eye. One is Honor, which is this very pale, like purpley mauve, almost the color of my shirt, and I find those colors so flattering on me, so that definitely piques my interest. And also the one that's right after that, which is called Mesmerize, which is a little bit of a deeper shade but would still be a nude on me. These formulas just look very creamy, and I'm really interested in trying them out. Especially in the winter, I like a little bit more of like a juicy lip color, and they just look stunning. Something else that I also recommend from them are their cream blushes. I also like their highlighters. So from the cream blushes, I do have one that's not my favorite shade, but taking a look at their shades, they have this new one called Inner Glow, which looks like a very, very light pink. And then also the one below that, Embrace, which is also very light but very like pink purple. Those both look very interesting. I don't think I have any blushes that are that light, but a couple of my favorites, like the Han Cosmetics powder blush in baby pink, is a super pastel shade, and I absolutely love it. So that's what's sort of drawing my interest in getting one of these very light cream blush shades. I think it would probably just look so ethereal and pretty on the skin. They also have this very interesting like purpley mauve shade called Abundance, which if you have like maybe a deeper cool tone skin, that looked like it would be so pretty. I mean, all their shades are really gorgeous looking. It's hard to pick. They do also sell these collector's kit, which I have here, which would be a really great thing to pick up during the sale, since you get this case and you get a ton of products in here that you get to customize. So in mine, it does have a mirror on the top, which is very nice. I have a cream foundation, which isn't my favorite, but then I also have a cream blush. This was the shade I just mentioned was like not my favorite because it's more peachy. Those aren't like my go-to. This highlight shade though, I really love. I forget the name of it. I think it might be called Radiance, but it's a very like cool toned highlight. And then this is a little bit of a tinted lip balm. And then I have two eyeshadows, which I also really love from them. Their eyeshadows, they're perfectly pigmented and very buildable. And then this also like comes out so you can change out your products. Just a really fun little kit. I will have all the links below, by the way, if you're interested in shopping. But let's move on to the next endeavor here. I'm gonna hop on Trendmood, which if you don't follow them on Instagram or here on YouTube, they basically just post new makeup launches as soon as they launch. So sometimes even earlier than when they're officially announced. So let's take a look. The first thing I see is this pinned at the top. The Sephora holiday savings discounts have been revealed along with the dates. I'll pop it on the screen here. So the Sephora collection will be 30% off. I'm interested in trying their concealer and the foundation, the Better Skin line. I've heard really good things about, but I haven't tried, so that is on my list. And then Rouge, it's just the typical 20% off VIB, you get 15, Insider you get 10% off. I I'm definitely not a rouge anymore. You would think I am having a makeup channel, but I just don't spend that much apparently. So I think I'm either a VIB or insider. I probably won't go too crazy on the sale this year. There's not a ton that I'm interested in. I did just order a couple one size products from Patrick Star because I've been like eyeing those forever. Let me know if you want a review on those, and also let me know what kind of format you'd be interested in seeing for my VIB recommendations. If you want to try on or just like a sit down talking video or anything you come up with, let me know below. I have a Batman and Kylie Cosmetics collab. I couldn't care less about these types of collabs. I've never had any interest in trying Kylie Cosmetics. It kind of looks like ColourPop to me. I don't know. Scooby-Doo and Glam Light. I'm not like a makeup collab type of girl unless it's something that like I really enjoy, I get excited about, like Trixie Cosmetics and like Juno Birch when they did a collab. I was like, that's exciting. The Trixie and Kaja collab. I love Trixie Cosmetics. They're a really interesting, fun brand that like always excites me. Other than that, like most of these things, I'm just like, eh. Speaking of Trixie Cosmetics though, we have their new The Creature Feature collection. This looks like their Halloween collection. So they have, ooh, a liquid lipstick, a lip gloss, and they also have a bundle. So they have this like purple gloss, a black liquid lip, a black lip gloss, and a purple gloss, and also this green gloss. Very interesting shades. I love to see this sort of like weirdness for the Halloween collabs. I think it's fun. I also spotted this on Sephora, but also on Trendmood, the new for the holiday 2022 Pillow Talk palettes from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm gonna give you a hot take on these. They have two shades. One that looks like it'd be good for lighter skin, and then one for like medium to deep skin. Charlotte Tilbury's marketing is always like, it gives you this holiday like super glowy glam vibe, and it makes you really want to buy that product, but I never end up looking like the models even when I use these products, so I don't know. I think a lot of Charlotte Tilbury is overrated. She has some good products. I don't think I've tried any cheek products from her, but just looking at the shades in this, so they have a soft blush, cool pink matte. I would wear that. And then this is where it starts to go wrong for me. We have the Glow in Warm Glow, which automatically is just too dark of a highlight for me, so I would not use that. And even on the model, it's too dark on her skin. And then we have a blush, which is a peach pink matte. Looks very similar to the first shade. I already have a blush like this in my collection. I'm sure a lot of you do as well. And then there's another glowy shade, which is Rose Gold, which is even darker than the other one. So they're pretty. The packaging, I like the like pillow effect to it. So since I can't use 2 out of the 4 shades, I'm definitely not going to be purchasing that. And unless you feel like it would like really suit your skin tone, I'm sure there's a lot of other things you may already own or just things out there that might suit you a little bit better. I'm not a huge fan of cheek palettes. I just feel like I never end up using all the shades, and buying a whole palette just because you maybe like 1 or 2 shades, I don't think is the greatest buying decision in my opinion. Going along the same blush palette premise, the Nars blush palette, this has 6 shades. I believe one of them is a highlight. It has this star packaging, which I think is really cool. I'm not sure I like the like star embossing on the powders. It looks like a little childish to me. And again, with these shades, I could see myself maybe using 3 of these. If you're a makeup artist, you do like other people's makeup, or if you have more of like a medium skin tone, you might be able to use more of those shades, but for me, it's a pass. I also wanted to touch on this new Anastasia eyeshadow palette in the shade. It's called the Rose Metals palette. It comes in this like gray crackled packaging, which seeing the picture on Trendmood, like it doesn't look, I don't want to say tantalizing, it doesn't look the most attractive to look at. Like I feel like it would get dirty very easily. And looking at the shades, I think they're really pretty. I like rose tones, but I do like something that's a little bit more cool. And there's still a lot of these like warm emeralds, golds, bronze. So I think it's like a nice array of shades for cool and warm tones. But I'm just not feeling like the color story here. And I also don't like how there's not a lot of mattes. I think there's 4 matte shades and they're all warm. So that's a turnoff for me because I feel like I need some cool tone mattes and there's just not enough variety. I've owned 2 Anastasia palettes in my life. One is the Modern Renaissance palette, which has those like red, purpley, just very rich like burgundy tones, which I used to love. I don't own that anymore. I think I just like it expired, but it was a long time ago. And then the one I have now is the Jackie Aina collab. This packaging is really pretty, and these colors, I think like they just really called to me. This was not a regret purchase at all. I really don't use it a ton, but I think Anastasia does make very creamy pigmented eyeshadows, which might not be the best if you're a beginner, but if you like really dealing with some pigment, these are nice. And what I like about this palette is the diversity of mattes. I don't like how Anastasia changed their like eyeshadow palette packaging. I think there's like less shades now and they're in a bigger pan. I like the setup a lot more, and these are just so pretty. You get I feel like I just sounded like what's her name, Tina from Bob's Burgers. Probably not. Yeah. Anyway, there's warm tones, there's some purples. It's very holiday to me, so since I already have Anastasia palette that I like to go to, I don't see the use in getting a new one. It's pretty. I've seen some good tutorials with it, but I think I have a lot of similar things in my collection. Speaking of eyeshadow palettes, Natasha Denona also released a new shadow palette called My Dream Eyeshadow Palette, which is also sort of this like rosy theme, which I really like. Like this palette has a lot of potential, and just looking at this color story, it is inspiring to me, especially this lighter end of the palette that has these like dusty pinks and like this muted mauve and very pretty shimmers. I think this is way more evenly distributed in terms of the matte and shimmer shades. There's also like the shifty shade called Vision. I have been waiting to get a Natasha Denona palette because I do really like the formulas, but I don't know which one would be for me. Like I do like that one, but I almost see myself maybe using the Glam palette a little bit more, which is more of a cool neutral. Seems to have more shimmers, and it just I think would go, I could create a lot more looks with it versus the Dream palette. I already do have palettes that have those mauvey pinks in them. I also like, I don't know what to think about this like splattered packaging. Again, not the most attractive packaging design. Like I like that it's pink, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would personally design that. I guess it's kind of giving like this edgy vibe, but I don't know. I feel like if I were to do like a rose palette, I'd maybe do something like romantic and rosy. I think that would be really cool. And then they also launched with the My Dream Cheek Trio, which is a cream blush, a cream base, and a glow powdered highlighter, which looks very pretty, but the highlighters look too dark for me. Maybe not the powdered one. That one in the middle, actually, like, I wish they sold that separately. It looks really pretty, but I don't use cream highlighters a lot, and the blush is again something I have already, so just not screaming my name. I do think that the lipstick, lip liner, and gloss they released in this collection is a super pretty shade. It's called My Dreamy Lipstick. What is the shade name? Okay, it's called Natasha, which is a light neutral pink. Neutral pinks for me are very versatile and flattering, so it looks super pretty. Out of all the collection, that kind of excites me the most, but still not something I would purchase. So the last things I want to talk about are holiday sets. I know it's early, I don't really want to be talking about them either, but they're already being released to the public, so we might as well go over them. I'll start with some on Sephora. So let's start with the good. The Kosas lip sets I always love because their lip glosses, lipsticks, and lip balms are all top tier in my opinion. This mini wet set undressed plumping glosses look good to me. I do already have a couple of these already, so I don't need new ones. But it's $25 for 3 of them, which is a $35 value. I mean, you're saving 10 bucks, which is pretty good. I think it's a really cute gift as well. And then I saw this Sephora Favorites Sparkly Clean Makeup Set. So in here you get an eye cream, a Milk Makeup, what is this? A primer? Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer. I already know I don't like that. Eye cream, I feel like it would be cool if it was just a makeup set. A Caudalie Radiance Serum. Again, not something very interesting to me. The two like sort of saving graces of this is you get a full size Rose Ink blush. I believe that's a full size, which I love. And then the Say mascara is also pretty good. And there's additionally an Ilia Balmy Gloss, which I like. They're not my absolute favorite, but they're nice. So I really only like 3 out of 6 of these items. For $42, it's a $118 value. If you wanted to try the Rose Ink blush, and made with the Ilia. Like, this might be worth it, but it's not the most exciting set in my opinion. I think the serum and the eye cream, I wish it was all a makeup set because it's called a sparkly clean makeup set, and then there's 2 items that are not makeup. I don't know, that's just my take on it. Like, it's a makeup set, make it makeup. Oh gosh, I did also want to talk about the Hourglass face palettes. They always launch these for the holidays. I've never purchased one. And so they have 3 this year. They have the butterfly, the elephant, and tiger. So the butterfly one, which is the lightest shade, you get the ethereal light finishing powder. I do already own this. You get incandescent light strobe powder, another finishing powder, which is like a yellowy tone, sunset glow blush, a soft blush blush, and a strobe light strobe powder. I think the depths of these blushes in the Ferris palette was an interesting choice for Hourglass. Even on the fair skin models that they have, I mean, they're like fair light skin, the blush is like very strong. These tones are something I would go for, like these like orangey, I don't know, they're just like not really the type of like undertone I would want. And you don't need that many diffusing powders. They honestly like don't do much to begin with, and then you have these different undertones. They probably look the same. Not super exciting. And then we have the elephant one, which has some similar stuff. This looks better because you actually get a bronzer in here. There's no bronzer in the first one, is there? Oh, I guess you could use that like bottom right shade as a bronzer. But anyway, the elephant one looks a little bit better. Like, those blush tones I think are actually prettier. And then I think Tiger, the deepest one, is actually the most interesting out of all of them. These shades look absolutely gorgeous. I like how they give you the ones with the marble in it, because the Hourglass blush that I really love has that marbling. So you get 2 blushes, 3 blushes actually, 2 strobe powders, and a finishing powder. This is a really good even distribution. This orange blush in these copper like glowy shades. I think if you have deep skin, you could pull off all of these and it might be worth it to get it. But the other 2 I just think are kind of meh. I also spotted this LYS Beauty Deluxe Higher Standard Satin Matte Cream Blush Trio for $20, which is this little set with 3 mini cream blushes. It doesn't say what like the value is, but you get 3 shades. So you get a mauve pink, a coral pink, and then a deep red. These are very pretty, but I don't think it's really hard with these blush sets because I don't feel like all 3 of these shades would work on one skin tone. I think actually, I will take that back. I think if you have like a medium olive skin, I think all 3 of these you could definitely pull off. But for me, the coral shade and the red shade I think would just be too much for me. So if you have like medium skin, and then if you have deeper skin, I think the lightest shade might be too light. It depends. On the model it looks pretty good, but again, it's just one of those things, like if you can't use all of them, why get it? Back onto a positive note, the one set on Sephora that I really think is interesting, Kaja. They make really great holiday sets. This is the All My Heart Lip, Eye, and Cheek set. So you get this little like stamped cream blush, liquid cream blush, which I've always wanted to try. You get I think it's actually the full size of their little lip mousse. It's like a liquid lipstick. It looks so pretty. It gives you that like popsicle type of lip look. And then you get this eyeshadow trio. I love their eyeshadow trios. I have one that has 2 mattes and a shimmer, and the shimmers are so pretty and they're very portable and just like cute. And I'm really a big fan of this brand, so I think this would be like a good way to get into it. It's also $38 and it's a $74 value, so you're actually getting a pretty good value there. Sometimes with these gift sets, they're not actually value sets. It's just a set in nice packaging, but this is one that is a good value. So that was pretty much all of the sets on Sephora that I had my eye on. And before we go, I wanted to mention 2 websites that actually have really good gift sets. I think are underrated. If you're looking at Sephora and you're not really finding what you want, I definitely suggest these 2 sites. Starting with the Detox Market, they have so many beautiful like clean luxury sets. They have some Osea sets, which you know I love. One with like the body butter and the body oil. They have some fun makeup stuff and more like luxury like self-care candles and body care sets. I do also have a discount code for the Detox Market. I'm pretty sure it works with sets, so I will put that in the description below. I believe it's for 15% off, so you could get an even bigger discount on top of that. And then I always like to pop on over to Credo Beauty to see what they're sort of cooking up. They seem to have a little bit more of like the makeup skincare set. They do a really good perfume sampler or sets of like a bunch of different brands. If you're into like clean makeup and skincare, body care, and you want to try a bunch of different brands at once, they have like the best sets, so those will also be linked below. But that was all for today's video. My throat's getting a little sore from talking so much, but I hope you enjoyed this. I've never done a video like this, but it was really fun to go over my thoughts about new makeup launches and sort of what's going on in the makeup community. But thank you all for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, if you made it this far in the video. And I'd love it if you could give it a thumbs up as well. But thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on my next video. Bye.